Excellent, and welcome to the TAT Summit online conference. We are very fortunate to have some of the ICA team here. So I'll introduce Michael. Know Michael for a few months now, as he's been driving the ICA message across the world. So Michael, please introduce yourself, introduce what ICA is about, and then let's go from there, okay?
Sure. I'm the sales and marketing leader for ICA. Um, and the reason I've accepted this role is because I believe in what they're doing. And I, like you guys, am frustrated with the pocketed approach, the segmented approach to stir shaking this problem. And it's not working. It's clearly not working. And it's only going to get worse, especially with AI. So we need a new solution thought about differently than the isolated, segmented approaches that we've had in the past. And what differentiates ICA is we create a digital twin of you so that it knows all of your metadata, all the calls you've ever had, all the emails you've ever had, all the calendar invites you've ever had, all the social media you've ever had. So it knows more about you than you know yourself, because you forget. And what it provides is a digital twin to filter um, I'll just talk about robocalls, not text, not emails, and not the rest of it, because it's just easier to understand. So it won't connect the calls that doesn't have a relationship with you.
Mhm.
So it takes a relationship fingerprint through all this metadata and determines whether or not this person has a reason to call you. And what differentiates us over the other solutions is we ask why. Not only do we have the caller ID, not only do we have the physical location, not only we have the IP address. So we use all of this information to make a determination on whether or not this is a justified call. So we verify it before it's connected.
Gotcha.
I'll stop there.
Now,
See
when
if
you
this
say call, is this PSTN calls? Is this WhatsApp calls?
any yeah,
Anything,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
anything.
right,
So
right.
how does it get access to that? Is this an app that sits on my phone? I'm just trying to get a feel for how does it gather all this information?
The way we would deploy is a kind of a crawl, walk, run approach to uh, the low hanging fruit, which are the wireless carriers,
Okay.
and even the regional wireless carriers.
Yep.
When I was at, I've been in telecom for a long time, and the last company I was with was GTT,
Yep.
and it was during COVID. We deployed Teams, and we didn't have a problem with robocalling.
Yep.
It was all the robocalling happens on your cell phone,
Hmm. Yep.
and so that's our low hanging fruit to
Gotcha.
go and improve their customer experience.
Gotcha. Understood. So it's very much focused on the PSTN. So where the problem is
Correct.
most severe,
Correct.
you focus there first.
Correct.
However, the solution, because when we look at, say, WhatsApp, there is other form, robocalling, or at least on the messaging side, you
Yep.
get
Yep.
invited to groups, so there is spammy stuff there. So is your solution extensible
Very
to
much
other?
so.
Okay,
I,
okay,
well, the technology and the patents are so strong, wide, and broad.
okay,
We we could we could take this a number of different directions.
okay.
We could have started this call just talking about social media and SMS, all those scam SMS texts that you
Yes.
get.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is that takes us so many different directions.
Yes.
The technology will work in all of these things, but it's easier to understand if you start out just talking about robocalls.
Understood. Okay, so we'll keep the focus there. Now, you have mentioned the word patents, and I know the founder CEO is very keen on all the patents. How many patents do you have around the sort of ICA technology?
Say that again.
Or how many patents are sort of protecting the ICA technology?
There, Robert, you know that better than me. I think it's 11, but I don't want to say something wrong.
Yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. That's good to know.
And
Now,
they're international patents.
okay, so I'll
So they,
take Johnny's question. So he's, where are you now? Who are you talking to? And how can we help you get this message more broadly across the industry?
I appreciate the help because we've got something so helpful to the seniors that are getting scammed by $33,000 a year.
Yeah.
And so we've got a great solution to answer your question. We're talking to the FBI chair on the group that monitors their robocalling.
Okay.
They're very aware that, I mean, they are the ones that came up with the stir shaken model. So,
Hmm.
and they're very aware that it's not performing up to expectations. And the reason they're aware of that is because the number of signatures is going down.
Okay.
So it's not it's they're finding a way around it.
Yes.
So to answer your question, we're talking to the likes of Vonage, um, which they just had an SMS issue where they had to take down their
Gotcha.
and so we're talking to the likes of Vonage. We have some relationships within AT&T,
Cool.
but the the best traction we have is through those vendors that already have relationships inside of these companies, and we can ride on their application and like enhance what they're already doing.
Understood.
Branded calling, as an example.
Hmm.
Uh, branded calling is it takes call connection from 10 or 11% to 33 up to 50%, and we can actually improve those numbers significantly.
Okay. Gotcha. And again, that's because you've gathered all the PSTN data in terms of the connections I have with regularly, so that as the calls come through, you can ensure delivery of the relevant brand information.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And so we have all the metadata, and it's important to note that we don't have any private data.
Okay.
We know what the metadata is, and we use math to determine a relationship value. And
Okay.
then from that math, we either connect the call or uh, pause the call and verify,
Okay.
or not connect the call at all.
Okay. And can you divert to voicemail or?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It'll follow the normal
Proceed.
process. I mean,
Gotcha.
uh,
Understood.
so the digital twin can ask, would you like to leave a voicemail or would you like to leave a text message? So
Gotcha.
it will adapt to um, an easy example is, let's say that I have a new relationship
Hmm.
that doesn't have emails into me, doesn't have phone calls into me. We're not friends on LinkedIn. We're not friends on Facebook, but we meet at a conference.
Yeah.
and hey, how you doing? Pass business cards back and forth, and hey, what about have a statement of work? Would you like to bid on?
Gotcha.
So the the scenario in this scenario, the call would be reverted to the digital twin to ask intelligent questions about who
Okay.
I am.
Gotcha.
It would have metadata on me to know that my IP address wasn't calling 1,000 users an hour.
Yeah.
So it knows I'm a legitimate number.
Yeah.
And I explained that I have a statement of work. So just through a large language model, we explain who we are, plus the metadata. Uh, the digital twin is savvy enough to say, hey,
Understood.
you know, this is for real.
Yeah, because you've got that contextual information around that particular IP address, because it could be coming
Right,
in
right,
over,
right.
WebRTC or VoIP or something. So there isn't necessarily a traditional EIN. But again, because it knows this IP hasn't been used for basically hammering, the network for the last, couple of hours, it's clean IP address that's been relatively unused. So therefore, it provides that contextual information to connect. Understood. Okay, that's clear.
And now let me explain the other side of that. So let's say somebody is trying to call me and they are a scammer
Hmm.
and they've never called me before. They don't have relationships with me, but they're calling me for the first time. The chances are that there's metadata on that IP address because they've called you and everybody and Robert and
Yeah,
everybody else. So it knows that there's been 1,000 calls originated from this IP address in the last hour,
gotcha.
and it's the first time it's calling me. So it's not going to connect that call.
Understood. Understood. That's clear. Cool. So we covered the basics. We're keeping it focused on robocalling because it's clear, easy to understand. Um, and you're focusing in on some of the vendors in this space. So you mentioned Vonage, but also, of course, working with the carriers because they drive requirements. Um, where are you in the process? Have you sort of like locked in particular channels to market? Are you still on the sort of channel search to find the right partners to grow what ICA is about?
We're looking for about 3 or 4
Gotcha.
uh, more partners
Understood.
that we. So I mean, we've got some non-disclosures going on.
Yeah.
Um, but we're looking for only about 3 or 4 more partners, and we think we'll have enough kind of crawl, walk, run data for us to deploy.
Gotcha. Perfect. So that, I mean, that for me, that's exactly what we wanted to get out of this. It's just very simple explanation of what you're doing. Keep it focused. Because you're at early stage. You've got, I think, a very powerful set of
Yeah,
technologies that you've patented. It's about creating that digital twin and then using that
yeah,
to make a determination on how that call gets treated in connecting with you. As you said, it could be this further interrogation. It could be it's basically routed elsewhere, or it could
yeah,
just
right,
simply connect you.
right.
Cool. Okay, no, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. Short, sweet, and to help you get more channels.
And if you'd like, we could invite some more people when I get back to the States and
Yep.
maybe do a demo next time.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should mention that Michael's all the way off in Uganda. I was worried, but we had no problem whatsoever with Michael. It was Johnny that was the problem, but that's the
He's
novice.
he's dropped off too.
Yeah, yeah. He was having a problem with his machine, so he unfortunately had to drop off. But again, Johnny's big supporter of what you're doing. Talked to your founder many times on this. So again, I wish you all the best of luck in building up ICA because it does sound very interesting. I think it's gathering all those sources of data is critical. so that you're making intelligent decisions.
Could you help us set up a podcast with both Johnny and you so that we record, kind of give a presentation, do a demo?
Yep, absolutely.
We can keep it to 15 minutes.
That's perfect. Yep, we'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. Because this one was a little bit of a trial tribulation,
I
but
understand.
we got there. We do have
Yeah.
the core, and absolutely, we do a follow up, most probably later in June. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Excellent. Well, safe trip home. And again,
Thank you.
Robert, thank you for being there in the background because of my concerns. I tried to do a conference call with Uganda. And you know what? The only problem we had was with Long Island, not with Uganda. Take care, guys. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, appreciate you.